Today, Rinpoche showed how patience is of the utmost importance to combat anger. It doesn't make sense to get angry about losing things or when others have things that we don't have, because when we die, we don't get to bring any of those things with us. Only thing that we get to bring is our reactions, our virtue, and our non-virtue. And anger causes us to be born into the lower realms, whereas patience serves as an opponent to anger, which allows us to be free. Welcome. I see a few new faces, so I just want to say welcome to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. This is Khensur Geshe Wandak. He is the retired abbot of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's monastery in Namgyal, and holds the degree of Geshe Lharampa, which is the highest degree one can achieve in the Tibetan Buddhist Gelug tradition. So he's recognized by all the world's greatest scholars, including His Holiness the Dalai Lama, as one of the greatest living scholars in Sutra and Tantra. And anywhere in the world to receive teachings, or even one teaching, from such a qualified master is very rare, and looked upon in this culture as a very a huge thing to be able to experience. So I just want to rejoice in the merit that we'll all create, and rejoice in the opportunity that we all have to learn from Rinpoche. My name is Jeff. I'm the translator. Rinpoche, we already went through the introductory prayers. Sometimes we get started a little bit early with those. And now we'll go right to the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa. Rinpoche teaches weekly on this text. It's a 3-volume series. Luckily, we have this in English, so you can get that. We don't sell it here, but Amazon, you can very easily purchase them. We're in Volume 2 now, and I'll tell you exactly where in Volume 2 we are. Sometimes we have some extra copies of the Lamrim over here if you don't have one and you would like one to follow with. I don't know if we have any left or if they've all been handed out, but that's also possible if anybody needs one. Just speak up, don't be shy. So I'll just, from there, welcome anybody who's new, and thank you for coming. Rinpoche, Ngatsu Kabiyare. Jipja Ju. Jipja Ju. Okay. Jipja. Gotta get a new book. Just find exactly where we are and corresponding with the English for everybody. Just give me one moment. In Kabiyar, Nipa, Sapa Jawar,
Jiba,
the Kabiyar, Jipjang,
Jituro,
Lene.
Ulea, Tin Jiba, Jiba, Niba, Sawashawa.
Okay.
Jibanes,
Okay. So we'll be on page 165 in the English. Where it says, be analyzing your... hold on, let me just make sure that's correct. I'm sorry, page 166. You'll see B, showing the compassion showing that compassion is appropriate. So that's where we will be. 166 B.
What that's in my Dama del Trom Riba the Chinroda, Long the Digmaris, the Tane, that's a yellow Trom Riba Mazi, and the Zoa Rigris, Zoa Compassion, or the Zoa Riba Shower, Zoa Shower, Ribana, Zoa Shower Ribana, what the Moris, Marba, Zoa Shower Ribanes, sentient Tuma Mebane, Kuana. Rangi Pamala Subinye Dan, Zauma Juba Dan, Banjuba Meba Dan, Metaji Su Dan, Dela, Dungan Sunji, Dungan Juba Dan, Yumobi, Dunji, Hune, and Rangi, Dedan, Shimi, Duanajan, Ziba Shawa, Dedan Shimi, Duanajan, Ziba Shawa. Riba Shawa Shiva, Da Zawa, Jiguji, Chua Dan, Nule, Shedu Galarun, Yandu, Tabane, Semba Wus, 我自我小日本都得来的嘛呗，现在他就是自我年轻不公巴的公过的是嘛呗，
Less so.
自我小日本呢，现在他就是自我年轻不公过比就算搞的是呢，现在搞了就要他妈买把男的出去怕到妈妈日本借用嘛的是，他妈买把呢，过那让给他妈了说吧，怕到妈当边家当。做不到我真的马日本借用嘛的是，年当、早嘛就把买把当是，现在他妈了我的来就要的是，这他就了的没大把的是没大金，苏当这了是，那个常常现那个苏当这个了的啊，然后叫我两个人，然后苏当这个的，苏当这了。对岸送去，对岸我就把当时，对岸就对岸，粤语对岸，吃饭对就对岸，送去，对岸我就把当时，对岸就对岸是哪？那俺说拿啥了说就是嘛的呗。粤语对岸是当俺说对话这的啥节对话的粤语对岸是，那吃饭对对岸他夸的了夸，对岸我就把当时。
Chapa Duje is now
夸了这样的个咯。
Less so. Then Dilo. Decent.
Okay, what did you say?
Okay, so we're going through the various categories which show the lack of justification for anger and so forth. So now we've reached category number 2 within it, which is showing that compassion is appropriate. So we see that it says on number 3, the major heading on analysis of the basis, anger is unjustified. So we've gone through the various wrong ideas that could justify it and showing how that negates justification. And now we've arrived at the need for compassion. So B, showing that compassion is appropriate. Contemplate from the depths of your heart all living beings have been in cyclic existence since beginningless time, and there is not one who has not been my friend and relative, father, mother, etc. Being impermanent, they lose their lives and are miserable due to the 3 types of suffering. Crazed by the demon of the afflictions, they destroy their own welfare in this and future lives. I must generate compassion for them. How could it be right to get angry or to retaliate for harm? What is the? So here we're saying that it is not right to retaliate. Why is it not right? What is the reason for it not being right to get angry or retaliate? It is because since beginningless time, there has not been one sentient being who has not had the most dearest relationship with us. There isn't any sentient being who has not been our father, mother, etc. So all sentient beings have had this dear relationship with us, but due to impermanence, they've lost their lives in this series the way that we have since beginningless time, and have remained miserable the way that we are due to the 3 types of suffering, the suffering, the suffering of change, the pervasive compounded suffering. So the suffering of suffering is, for instance, an illness, the suffering you experience from an illness. The suffering of change is the literally contaminated happiness. So that's the suffering of change. And the suffering of pervasive compounded suffering is literally cyclic existence. So these are the 3 types of suffering that Lama Tsongkhapa mentions here. Says being impermanent, they lose their lives and are miserable due to the 3 types of suffering. Crazed by the demon of the afflictions, they destroy their own welfare in this and future lives. I must generate compassion for them. So we need to familiarize ourselves with compassion, it's stating here. Here, generate, Rinpoche used the word gom, to familiarize ourselves, to meditate on compassion for these sentient beings in order to have that meditation serve as an opponent to the anger or and a desire for retaliation. So these are the points that are made within category 2, showing that compassion is appropriate, showing that compassion is needed. So, there are an analysis of analysis of compassion. We see that Digson. That's it. Digson.
Oh yeah. Sembawos. Ta koa suji Geshe Badans. An susu nyeba tekhen tende o desul Geshe Badan. Ne nyemo sun shebala. Mazoba gabala nis. Mazoba gabala ni. Toba so sunji Geshe bala. Mazoba gabala sun. Toba sunji Geshe bala. Mazoba gabala sunji. Toba sola yuen ane susu le jenda mag toba tamba ina tel yuen mares. Jeng ran toba jeba ina o te yuen maybe tu samba dans. Ane jeng ran la toba jeba ina kyun mares. Kyun tu samba dans. Te na jusen te sena tada gobala gawa jeba was. Ne
Less so.
what saji de sunduwa.
Less so.
Tamba jen jiran la toba dan rang ki taba jeba la tsirinwa dan ne meba su tsinde dan sunan tuba su jiwa jen ji duen nipo kanya mebe teda nyabala magawa ne ne kanki guba kanya mandubi shemi kambu diba na sheba chungo no ngoa dan dacha ni che me do nyang do rang la me ne chaba majates toba dan trabe rindu ne toba dan henda ge rindu ne sona manjuru tsim manjurus sona yungu mare tsirimu de yungu mares dadu manjur neme mis da ya tu no deva yungu mare neme ba yungu mares ko jengi zonal toba cheba dele yunten kayo mares le de vayan manjur os jen toba jene susu le den ra kayo mares de vayan manjuro dan randun shejune dan rangitun shejuna tala randun jishiyus randun shejuna tala randun jishiyus je dans shemi kondin bare shemi kambu diba na sheba na kache do tada tu na dra nya na rang sen sheba jin what toba de trabal what gabajia the mena je magaja the bugu san la mures jin shezos what about the college usual
Rinpoche, the Sansan, the Sheba, the Susu Jewel, they
sheba bugu chujong bugu chujong sen kamba de losun de bugu ngoro the what the mures
okay, two chena.
yeah.
All right, so now we've completed number 2, or B, showing that compassion is appropriate or necessary. And then number 2, just if you're following in the great treatise in the English, excuse me, page 166, it's below B there is a number 2. Stopping in patience with those who prevent your praise, fame, or honor, and with those who have contempt for you or say offensive or unpleasant things to you. Stopping in patience with those who prevent your praise and so forth, and with those who have contempt for you and so forth, has 2 parts. So there'll be 2 categories. Stopping in patience with those who prevent 3 things: praise, fame, or honor. Number 2, stopping in patience with those who do 3 things to you: have contempt for you, or say offensive or unpleasant things to you. So these are the 2 categories under that major heading. And then the first category, stopping in patience with those who prevent 3 things, praise, fame, or honor. It says, stopping impatience with those who prevent three things, praise, and so forth, has three parts. One, reflection on how praise and so forth lack good qualities. Number two, reflection on how praise and so forth have faults. And number three, the need to delight in those who prevent praise and so forth. So these are the three categories under that first heading. Now the first category among those three of the first heading is reflection on how praise and so forth lack good qualities. So praise cannot lengthen one's life or free one from illness or do any of the other life-lengthening things that practice can. So it says reflection on how praise and so forth lack good qualities. When others praise you and spread your fame, it serves neither of two purposes. For this life, it does not bring you long life, health, and the like, and for future lives, it does not bring merit and so forth. Therefore, do not get attached to fame and praise, but reproach yourself by thinking, my displeasure when my praise and fame are ruined is no different from when small children cry upon the collapse of their sandcastles, which lack any of the requisites for a dwelling. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deed states, so Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, sometimes translated, praise, fame, and honor do not cause merit nor longevity. So praise, fame, honor, none of these topics can cause one to have merit, nor a long life. Here, longevity is referring to no long life. So no merit is gained. There is no life is lengthened through praise, fame, and honor. And it says, do not cause merit nor longevity, nor cause strength nor health, nor bring physical well-being. And so praise, fame, and honor do not bring freedom from illness or strength. Once I understand my own welfare, what meaning is there for me in those? And also, when their sandcastles collapse, children cry in great distress. Likewise, my mind is childish when my praise and fame are ruined. So here it's showing the lack of excellent qualities that praise and so forth have because of their lack of excellent results. So that is number one in the collection of three. Okay, Digsung Rinpoche.
다 니바 tö바라 소바네 센트 마이바 인와단스 아니 제그론 tö바지바 이나 아니 소소 센인도 그레스 tö마이바라 인와단 아니 내주 소바냥도 그레스 규시지바단 유엔된jen라 차두 아니 제그론 tö바지바 이나 아니 유엔된 차두지 그레스 차두셰바단 기샤와나 냐버셰도스 ne jeng ron to ba she ba ina o te ne gwa nya na gres nya ba she do nya do san ta ne san ne ila te da la yin ju wa ne jeng ron to ba la o te ne ju sa ba go gres yin ju wa che ba sha de to su ta khon sa na da pe ji shwe ju ma do tosu tane inwa shes toba jeba ina ne sen yin de gres inwa she de ne juan jiba shin gan jung so ban ji de gres juan jiba she yuan den yo ken cha du ji gres yuan den de la cha du da pan sung so ba jiba she pan sung so ba o de pan sung so ba kan lo me ba cha ne gres Jesus what about ni bar what de ji ju na.
So number two among the three, reflection on how praise and so forth have faults. So here, the first category was lack of excellent qualities. Now the next category is faults. Develop disgust for praise and so forth, thinking praise, fame, and honor distract my mind with the meaningless, destroy my disenchantment with cyclic existence, make me jealous of those with good qualities, and spoil my virtuous activities. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deed states, praise and so forth distract me, destroy my disenchantment. promote my jealousy of those with good quality, and destroy all that is good. So again, from Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. And here this is a reflection on the need for desire to definitely emerge. Here the focus is on renunciation. Develop disgust for praise and so forth, thinking praise, fame, and honor distract my mind with the meaningless, destroy my disenchantment with cyclic existence, make me jealous of those with good qualities, and spoil my virtuous activities. So it destroy my disenchantment with cyclic existence. So here we need to develop this desire to definitely emerge, this renunciation, so that we don't have this activity that distracts our mind with meaningless, makes us jealous of those with good qualities, and makes us lose our virtuous activities, lose our virtue. So here, this is number 2.
다 송바 대단 고발라 가와샤 송바 데레도와 송바네 대단나 다기 되바던 자녀다 녀고 녀버 셰바테네 ஞான로 송제당 차비情况 决议당 동해라 조반대비 고지 상제지신로 따보 조바 인노냐도 상네 힌타바네 초가지 네 가와지바샤데 디실 네 다기 되수네 시시를 간다宣주인바레 네네바 다다 다네 손도 동안 손시를 쇼미나 다는 좋아 되니라 냐바고다 침먹고 간다 다지 드시바 달라다네 제다초 단 중에 준들라 상지제네 신로지 모두 고파니 줘봐 달라다네 제다초 셰조스 송바데바드레도아 다갈레주노.
Okay, so number 3, just a straight read, the need to delight in those who prevent praise and so forth. Stop your anger and feel delight from the depths of your heart, thinking, in that case, damage to my praise, fame, gain, and honor protects me from going to miserable realms, cuts the bonds of my attachment, and the like. The Buddha's blessing, and, like the Buddha's blessing, blocks the door through which I am about to enter into suffering. Thinking like this, you should, from the depths of your heart, stop anger and feel happy, engaging in the bodhisattva deed state. So again, Shantideva's text. Therefore, are not those involved in destroying praise of me and the like engaging in protecting me from falling into miserable realms? I diligently seek freedom and do not need the bonds of gain and honor. How could I get angry with those who free me from bondage? I am about to descend into suffering, but like the Buddha's blessing, they are giving me an opportunity to avoid it. How could I be angry with them?
다 되바도 텐리 되바 상질 되바도 되바 그걸로 도자에서 상당히 좀 도왔어. 차비용하게 차바다 차 녀모병하게 되바로 왔지 저를 막 제단에 되바 그걸 어디 가서 되바 그걸 좀 여봐서 당좀 도왔어. 텐리 되바 상질 텐리 좀 보고 되바 Tembinan tendi teba de sheronan tendi shebanis, what in the teba was.
Less so. So there are many types of praise, and if it is a praise, it does not necessarily mean that it does not have excellent qualities or that it lacks good qualities. So we see in the case of the text, the praise of dependent origination by Lama Tsongkhapa, this type of praise is not a negative praise because it's not under the influence of the afflictions. So here specifically the kind of praise that's being spoken of here is praise that is under the influence of affliction, praise that is influenced by attachment or is imbued with attachment or reaction imbued with attachment and so forth. So if it is a praise under the influence of afflictions, then it is something which is negative. But in the case of a praise of dependent origination or praise of the Buddha's great wisdom, there are many, many different types of praise that we can see presented, and they aren't all categorically under this category of faulty praise. All praise isn't faulty. Diso.
Da nyeba su song sheba la, mezo ba gaba. Nyeba su song sheba la, nyeba dang kodo dang song sheba la, ne mezo ba te gagu res, mezo ba gaba la, jang je saji jija shije.
Nipa je?
Nyeba su song sheba la, mezo ba gaba de la jije. Tambo tere sen ne le jeme sen le jeme bi on so jenje na ba shawa menu la le la ngon su na ba le ju ne sen la na ba inas ne ba la su be ne le la na ba menu be ne le sen ni ga la menu be ga shawo nya do san ne the goddess sen majiba the gagures the god the kina sen the keba ina and shedan jigmares the do small then contribute to or the the and shedan maji sheros what the maji shero the dayan in le jema imbe in le jema le jensana senos le jensana zuro ane yid shebaro shebat zumaro in senda yid na shizun tejis senda yid na shizun tejis ane yid shebatan on vi shebas wadan mamzando te shebejin yeruda in le jema imbe in le jema imbe in le zo maimbe in le je maimbe sujang gandon yomunu jins sujang gandon yonu mares le la ngamba shenbe na le la susuge ne le de ne chaba jogoro ngamba shenbe na le la dongen dagenus le ne dongen dagenus le dongen ngorota le ne dongen dagenu le ne dongen saje tanji dongen wa se jirba saje tanji dongen wa le saje ro dongen wa res saje tanji dongen wa dagenus dagenugres Nieda Chizu Mawa da Nieba Dea da Chizu Mawa Haju or Marbe Chizu Mawa da Meneba Cities and the general Meneba City Loba Day take a Jewish then Lula never Gen Haju Loba in a Gen Lul Nogomaroda Lula never Manjuna sentient Geshe ne sen contrugare languages le non mares Geshe tro mares Jesus what about le tambudere
Then a low selbudu in a yi garshene tam
yi da senda yi da na je son c'est dans senda yi da na je sana ne naba sheba lo kondo do senta ida na shi su den ji mi ge naba sheba na naba sheba tai naba sheba ji naba sheba le ji naba sheba yi naba sheba zhu yo ro zhu de yi senta ida na shi su den ji ane shi jambal san da na yi sheba jamba ma do ma ro wa den san da in sa
And the Tama, the Yik Jamba, the Genjisur now?
아 이시 집을마도 산마도 나는 이제 이시마도 원시 산다요 말로 생각을 이해해서 산다바이나 나시 주갈 산다도 미게 나바시바 나이 나바시바 나이 지 나바시바 르지 나바시 이지 나바시바 주 이주
Then
생주 집으로.
Okay, let me just read through this and see if it comes together. I have a lot of words in my mind right now, so I just want to just connect them all. So number 2, or B, page 168, stopping impatience with those who do 3 things to you, have contempt for you, or say offensive or unpleasant things to you. Prevent your unhappiness thinking, since the mind is not material, it cannot be directly harmed by others. So the mind is not form, it's a separate category altogether. And when we look at the different categories, we find that mind, awareness, mental consciousness, all of these things are synonymous or of one meaning. So when we look at mental consciousness, we can divide mental consciousness into 6 different categories: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, tactile consciousness, and mental consciousness. So we divide consciousness into these 6 different categories. So none of these are which are form. It says prevent your unhappiness thinking, since the mind is not material, it cannot be directly harmed by others. While the mind is indirectly harmed by directly harming the body cannot be harmed by contempt, offensive speech, and unpleasant words. These harm neither body nor mind. So I should be delighted. When you prevent your unhappiness, you do not give rise to hostility. So it says, then again, a quote from Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life states, or engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds states, since the mind is not physical, no one can destroy it. It is strongly attached to the body, and so it is harmed by physical suffering. So because it's not material, it cannot be destroyed. So harsh words and so forth can't possibly harm it, because it can't be destroyed because it's not physical, and then it'll go. So it is strongly attached to the body, and so it is harmed by physical suffering. Contempt, offensive speech, and unpleasant words do not harm the body. Then why, mind, are you so angry? So if the mind is reacting to the some kind of harm to the body, if these words can't actually harm the body, then why would the mind be so distracted? Why would the mind be so upset by it? Because the mind can't be destroyed by these negative words and so forth. So the mind, the consciousness, awareness, none of these things can be destroyed by physical. They're not material, so they can't just be destroyed. So these negative words, offensive speech, contempt, and so forth can't harm the mind, because it's not physical, it can't be destroyed. And this strong attachment that the mind has to the body is that makes it react when there's some sort of unpleasant words is incorrect as well, because unpleasant words and so forth can't harm the body. So it says contempt, offensive speech, and unpleasant words do not harm the body. Then why, mind, are you so angry? So it's saying that it is strongly attached to the body, and so it is harmed by physical suffering. So it's saying that the mind can be made unpleasant by physical suffering, but this isn't the case of physical suffering, because there isn't a physical suffering that can take place on the body from harsh words and so forth. Diksong Rinpoche, Tuche. Sharawa le lomason.
Adda wadi senkhang ribasa wadi sureni marwa. Senkhang ribasa. Senkhang ribasa megi nabashiba, nai nabashiba, nai nabashiba, ji nabashiba, luji nabashiba, yiji nabashiba, chudili. Senkhang ribasa wadi lodi marwa.
Senkhang Ripasena?
Senkhang ribasa gandu wadi.
The Becha Yerbe.
Pajama, that
Senkang
Jidan,
Ripa. Do you know what this is?
Chenrezig to
Psychology.
Oh,
Senkang Rinpoche, psychology.
okay. So it's the study of psychology. Okay.
oh,
Oh, Ripa analysis of mind. Is that what the I see?
It's basically the same.
I see. Okay, I see. So now we have new words that are coming. Now we're with the Western words connecting to Tibetan words, where we would before have had this long sentence like I was making. Now we just say psychology. So
that Chenrezig make number shibato this sent to the US messages.
so let me just back up. So the study of these six consciousness, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, tactile consciousness, mental consciousness, the study of these six consciousness is psychology. So when we look at the science, what would science say about this? How would they respond to this?
What is terrible drawdown?
So it would be interesting to ask that question of a scientist. What would they respond? How would they respond about these consciousnesses?
That nearby Shara Ishene,
Analysis
Kano
of mind psychology.
Gadam Gishin Sharo Injero. Shara Ishene, Kano Badan, Jinjero, Kebaji, Nuzo Badan, Trabason La, Hendu Jezan, Suyan, Sadulam Hawadan, Chemebe, Devajons, Shara Ishene, Kano Badan, Nuzo Badan, Trabason La, and Hendu Shuba Ina, Galaba Ina, Jezan Suyan, Sadulam Hawadan, Chemeba, and Sen Devajons, Shema Kun Henkun Sayu Madwa, Shonson Badans, Shema Le, Shema Kun Henkun Sabe, Madwa Shonson Badans, Anjula Ganga Anjul Jinyed Vena, and what the Sen Majiba, not Anjul Jilaval Dena, and the Kajin de Chaja, Kondujon Wayawatan Yungojero, Sen Madwa, Shonson Badans. Nyedun la, the degi seshena, ne kuka zambo la, ne tuanshawa yin, churan, chama mashi, shaba jeson badans, Shema Nyakon Sabe Madwa Shons, Anju Nyasik Galachi Nyed Bayina, and Sen Mother Shons. Nyedun la de Teke Seshena, Kuka Temple Lang, and Tonga Yin, Chu Chama Mashis, Kuka Temple Lang, Dongshawa yin, Chama Majebi, Shaba Chishi, or the Diban Jeretic, what the second one. Jesomba dance. Nanjua, Shero Dojula, Yugila, Gomayan, Trasene, Mema yin. Do shebes, mema in do shebes. Okila. Gamayan, trasene. Mema in do shebe. Lame, Maji mala sheba le, wana chela she son bes. Ane mal shikaya shea mal she urmadu, mal mashin sul she ures, watan she dumado. She son be. Che tama mashe, chama denas chama genro beji chuzons
That's so.
what the college.
And then a gonga mebachik, the Chirangutso son, the giant Sheba Ewa Jie. Then
What
they tumble.
the
They tumble. Natsu Tranga Jama son. They tumble? Kanga?
Tambaji Niba Sharawa said Nibare.
Sharawa? Okay.
Nibare.
Nipa. Okay. Dikson.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 4 categories according to Jayan Sheba in this section. So there's a secondary commentary that we're using called the 4 interwoven commentaries on the difficult points of the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment. And one among the 4 authors is named Jayan Sheba, and he has a commentary. He is in the interwoven commentaries and states that in this section there are actually 4 categories. So the first category ends where we just did, all the points that were made up to the end of the engaging in the bodhisattva deeds quote. And then now we see Sharawa said, this will be number 2 in Jayan Sheba's 4 categories. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not, because sometimes I just get going and I don't remember if I said it or not. So if I didn't, I apologize. So there are 4 categories. The first one is what we just went through. Second one begins now. Sharawa said, no matter what the 3 geshes, Kamlungpa, Nusurwa, and Drapa heard, it was no different from speaking to dirt and rocks, so they remained happy. Since everyone nowadays reacts quickly to what is said, they become unhappy. When somebody whispered to Shendun, he said this and then that. Shendun replied, people also say things behind the king's back. You have committed divisive speech, so confess it. Here the advice is to engage in the confession of that downfall of divisive speech because of saying this and that about people, about a person. And then it goes on to say, well, what else are people going to talk about there besides people? So it's just something like that. When someone said to the yogi, Geshe Lharampa Dorje, people are talking about us and saying that our attendants are too lax, he replied, well, the talk of the people will be about people. What else would they talk about? Thereafter, that person completely stopped the spread of his divisive speech. So he saw that he was speaking as well. He was speaking in the same way that they were speaking. And he realized from his master that he was talking about people as well. So from that point on, he stopped his divisive speech. And then Rinpoche, I believe, read this twice. So I'll do the same. No matter what the 3 geshes, Kamlungpa, Nusurwa, and Drapa heard, it was no different from speaking to dirt and rocks, so they remained happy. Since everyone nowadays reacts quickly to what is said, they become unhappy. So they didn't react. They reacted the same way as if they had been speaking to dirt and rocks and inanimate objects. And then when someone whispered to Shendun, he said to this and then that. When somebody whispered to Shendun, he said this and then that. Shendun replied, people also say things behind the king's back. You have committed divisive speech, so confess it. When someone said to Yogi Geshe Lharampa Dorje, people are talking about us and saying that our attendants are too lax, he replied, well, the talk of the people will be about people. What else would they talk about? Thereafter, that person completely stopped the spread of his divisive speech. So that is number 2 in Jayan Sheba's 4 categories, but it's number 2 at a macro level as far as categories in Lama Tsongkhapa's text. Digson Rinpoche.
That teba la jengrang teba rang la teba ni do. Ane jengrang teba ina o de sono nyang de gres. Ane rang la teba ina. Rang la teba ina. Ane shangchu sembe domba yoba ina. Zatung ma rebe zatung. Da de jeme chune me de. Da rang la teba ina. Ane shangchu sembe domba yoba zayu domba re do.
Rangla,
rangla tuba ina.
one's own.
Shangju sembe domba yena, za dong ren do, nga sul shangju sembe domba ngone de me kan, draba ju ro ta. Shangju sembe domba me len sa ro. Ten draba ju ngo res.
One's own,
Yeah, when you praise yourself,
right? Or praising others.
if someone else praises you, then you're.
Thank you. Go for it.
Yeah, when someone others praise you, then your merit will decline, right? But then if you praise yourself, then that's a bodhisattva.
Praising yourself and belittle the first of the bodhisattva vows.
Praising yourself, right? That's what is it? Sattva means
A loss of the root, first of the root vow.
transgression of the bodhisattva vow.
Okay, so when you praise yourself and undermine others, that is a root transgression of the bodhisattva vows. If we look at the 18 root and the 46 secondary, the first among the 18 root is praising yourself and criticizing others is the first among those downfalls. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So when others praise you, so it's when others praise you, Zhen. So when others praise you, you lose your merit. And when you praise yourself and criticize others, you praise yourself, you lose your merit.
When you praise yourself, it's a
Root bodhisattva vow. Okay. All right. So that, I think we've got that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Lobsang.
What about the neighbor? That's one about the Nama Magayu Tadala
13.
Meneme Tala Tene Tadale Neba to be Bachi Shebe Neba the Mebala Meneba Mawala True Nyanas, that's what you go on the Zuba. And the Magayu
The Kabar Gutsa Rinpoche, the
Magayu is Somba
Gede.
Totes Somba.
the Gelde Nyepa Yomarebe.
Magayu Dala Menemes Magayu Dala Menemes Ando. Dan Jishir
Gelde.
Temendu Jesus Neba Taje. That's one about things that Magayu Dala Menemes and the Jane around Magana and the Susu Nogumas. Magayu Dala Menemes
Rinpoche.
Ranjan Tila Tene Tadale Neba Tubi Bachis Neba Chitea no Mutaka Bashi and then what the Bashi Shebe Nebadam Hebadam Menheba Mola True Nyanas Kundu language centers Kajiji what the Kajis and that Jeremy Tobacco long Tobacco.
That's
Jel Magana, the Dal no Mars Meneme Jan Telatene Dal Jinogmar de Ina Tadale Neba Tubala Pachish Pachishebe Nebadan Hebadan Meneba Mawala Trus long language centers Hanas and Neba Tujan there is Jagulas Neba Chijenda Megadisha Toba Inaya and then Chalakajan send to Chalakajan Readamat Kayo Marvota. Neba Tujan there is Jagula Tela True Dibi Jesun Rayu Neba Meba Nudo Shawatan Lutu Rindo Sunba Nile Hamazon Osa. What that in about Neba Tujan there is Jan Rugur Shedu Nebakatu Maro Jadan Rugulas Tela Tribe Diba Jesun Rana Ajeda Lungi in the Diba Sagare Dibi Jesun Drayu Neba Meba Dibi Jesun Drayu Neba Meba knew to show a dance Neba Meba knew to show a dance Lutu Rendo Sunba Nile Kamazangos Neba Meba knew to show the Shedayagres 로츠 제네 주른 네바이나 어디 냐카요레스 로츠 렌도 선바 카사던 쇼론도서 로츠 어디는 로츠가 아니지 왜 말이야 어디도 레도도와 렌도 선바 니레 하마상 오스 안에 어디 네보면 시바이나 야주레스 하마상 오스 네바 투드 렌도 내장 치와레 마타유 네바 투네 처리버 대바이나야 아니 치와를 주투 말에 치와는 가봐도 용거레스 치와레 마타유 치굴라스 나시 신루레스 치이츠나 할로자 도와제바당 할로자 도와제바당 로자데네 도와제바당 로지장 도와제바니 라브레스 신루 라데 니가 템비 유장도 세제 디체 동아지 쳐바제야 매비쇼로스 동아지 쳐바제요 마지바레스 pena malando loja dewa nyoba dan yuzan chi dewa nyoba ni sebise ane deme de cheba meba jeno se example pena malando loja dewa nyoba dan malando da loja dewa nyoba nyala dan ba dan jerwa dewa nyoba dan yuzan shi dewa nyoba ni nya sebise dewadama kari chibares sebise demede cheba jama genos
Leso. Ne rimching atriwa yure. The Jayan Sheba ewa sumba kabar gutsogudu the ngate samba.
Ya sumba magayu sa tenere.
Megayu. The ngatsu the gelde nyepa. The sojepa na gansa shirang. Shirang de losan.
Kaba.
The toka. Gelde the tambo nipa sumba. Gelde nyepa sojepa na
Alors,
kansa.
somba. Gede nyeba so sheba nas. Ode somba de.
This sumba.
Somba.
Okay.
Jaji somba de.
Okay.
Gede nyeba so sheba na. Kansa jen ran la. Magayu. Ti shir magawu nas. Soba chiko umare be soba.
The gutso.
Ya. The somba goten zure.
Dene?
ane jenji dala magayu dala nuna dendu chu jansa jenji dala magayu dala nugma resi dala nuna dendu chu jansa jenji dala magayu magasuntan dala nuna denba rede de ne rangla chenmo maga ponte sa de ne rangla chenyo ma resi de ne rangla chen menju maga ponte sa maga de pongo res jenda dala maga yu jenda shwenju yimba jenda dala maga yu de ne Sendang, Chijenla, Dala Sawa, Majena, Dan Jishir, Demendu, Jesos,
Dixon.
what the Niba, yeah.
The sumba.
Niba Sanda, Somba Woland.
The sumba megawe. Sumba gelte. Sumba mega.
Sumba.
Sumba, Gyelte, okay. Okay, so now number 3 begins here, begins to be almost a debate that is going to take place, a question and an answer, a thesis negation. So it says, objection, when someone has contempt for me, etc., other people will not like me. So this is why I am unhappy about it. So the reply, This would have truth if others' dislike were to harm you. However, since their dislike does nothing to you, give up your unhappiness about others' contempt. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deed says, others' dislike for me does not devour me in this or other lives. Why am I so adverse to it? So again, the lack of ability to truly harm, as previously stated about the direct harm, indirect harm, mind not being material, etc. So others' dislike for me does not devour me in this or in other lives. Why am I adverse to it? So then, objection. Indeed, I am not harmed by their dislike, but in dependence on it, I may be hindered in acquiring things from them. So I will get angry at those who have contempt for me, scorn me, or say unpleasant words to me. The response. Even if you acquire things, you must leave them here. When you die, you don't get to bring the things that you have. At the time of death, the things that you have will be lost. Even if you acquire things, you must leave them here, whereas the sin of anger at them will follow you. So the non-virtue within your relationship to those things that you will not bring with you to your next life will go with you. So the non-virtue that you have in relation to those things will be carried with you to your future life. Hence, of the two choices, dying quickly in destitution or living for a long time improperly, the former is better. Even if you acquire things and live for a long time, you must die. Since you are not liberated from death, at the time of death, it is the same whether you have enjoyed pleasure from the previous 100 years or enjoyed it for merely 1 year. For both alternatives are nothing more than mere objects of memory, and at that time it makes no difference at all for your happiness or suffering. So at that moment, the gathering of memories that you've had don't make any difference at that moment. You're going to die. You will still pass. At that time, it makes no difference at all for your happiness or suffering. It is analogous to how in a dream the experience of pleasure for 100 years and the experience of a mere moment's pleasure have no difference at all with respect to your happiness or unhappiness at the time of waking. I believe that concludes number 3. Let me just make sure. Sumba kabar ka Rinpoche. Sa
Sumba
kabar
what
sa.
the Malan
Mulan, yeah.
Malan the Karaja.
I'm reading the Mulan.
Malan to not you could in Tangro.
Less so.
Malan the Shebar Hekare.
So Rinpoche now is delving into dreams. So I asked Rinpoche where number 3 concludes. And he said the part about the dreams, so that's where we just were. So is dream the consciousness? Is that was the question?
Malaj Manyala Tambaina, what the Malaj Me.
Fire or person? Okay.
Milan Danaya, the Malang
now it's fire. Okay. So so when we have a dream, so is a dream consciousness? When we have a dream, is the person in a dream a person? Is fire in a dream fire? Is God in a dream a God? So Rinpoche is asking these questions. Are these objects in the dream those objects? Are the God, is the human in a dream a human? Is the fire in a dream a fire? Is dream fire? Okay, so it's real specific the way he's stating this though. Dream fire, the Yanjur Suralan, the Mulanji me mayin. So dream fire is not fire. So you can look at others in a very similar way. Dream human is not human. It's dream human. So that's what he meant by you can look at the others in a similar way. Then
That's Sumba.
Jipa.
Jipa Magai Dala Mene Jan Tela Dene Dale Nyeba to be Bache Shebe Nyebadam Hebadan and Meneba Mala True. True, that's what you call Madra. That never 2 John, and the true you mother never 2 John, the Jane, Jagulas, never 2 Inaya, and the Shendu de Jajires, Jagulas, Tell a tribe, DB Jesunan, ane del long laba yena ane diba sakare dibi jesun zhang yu nyeba meba nyo dibi jesun zhang diba sa ne shawa dang ane lo tsu ki yore to sunba nyi de ane kari agare sina ane nyeba meba nyo to shawa de agare sirta nyeba meba nyo to shawa de agare nyele hama zang wons nyeba meba shawa de agare sirta lo tsu ki yore to so yina diba musa to wajirwa zang wons nyeba tu de rin to ne jang chawale mata yus nyeba an jala namatan tu ne rin to ne jang ane tama shagore mashiwa de tuwa yamare chawale mata yu chagulas chi tsina nga loja chi tsina nga loja dawa sheba tang loji zang dawa jeba nyi drade nyega tenbi yu zang tu seje di se duduji cheba jiang mebi shiro sa
Ngama de kanga loso.
nga loja dawa nyoba tang
Lesa.
loji zang dawa nyoba shedu ji jeba resi de tenbi yu zang tu seje di se nga loja lenba wadu jiwa kama yoba tu le de duwa da jiwa la thuma meba nga loja lenba wadu su kanga nusu la ten le de duwa
Lesa.
다 맞죠 무슨 또 저월 도마 요마 다 신경 상말 저월 도마 요마 쓰고로 저월 도마 매버서 산당 용도 안고 생을 캔사버지 요지로 왔더니 근데 유쇼바다 힌두다 안내와데 조시도 어떻게 네 하고서 그랬어 다 남바다 쉬르베 제한투면 레레된 제버스
So we have a lot of differing ideas of how sentient beings are created and how things are created. As Buddhists, we state that all sentient beings, just like ourselves and others, have beginningless birth. In other traditions, such as Christian and Hindu tradition, there's the idea of a God creating things. And then other ideas of other Eastern traditions of thought of karma creating. The Buddhist tradition and the Jain Rinpoche, the non-Buddhist tradition of the Jain tradition, the naked wanderers, all they lay. They assert, I believe, Rinpoche is saying, I believe in a creation through karma. So there are all these different traditions that Rinpoche said that one would think the other is strange, or Khensur strange. So there's many different traditions of thought or ways of thought. The Molan, the ngay sampa, the kanga, the triwa dang lenjap sumba. The ngay sampa, the sumba, the gede gutso. Dene the triwa dang lenja kanga chikshena the sumba. Dene jepa chikshena shunju long rimbo yure. Ahako me yine ngay sampa.
Jebal trawaji ku no len he de doa.
The Milan
Magayu dala mene dala tene tedale nyeba tubala pachi shebe nyeba dang meba dang menyeba hawala chus longa jusen teres na tadel meleja umarbe woden mares tad nyeba tujan derja gula nshendu de nyeba jan do jeres tela tu debi jesu longa debasa ne debi jesu ran yu ne nyeba meba nyoto shwa da lo tu rin du so ani de kariya gresna nyeba meba nyoto shwa de agres
Lesa.
chi chugula chi tse ngalo jalen jeba da loji saneba ni Trabi Yutan to Seji, this Dungaji Cheba, Jamabisharos. Never Mabanya to show at the Lutzine, never need never Mabanya to show at Zangres, Zango. Never told the Rindu Najan, Chowale Matayus, and the Showal Tagmaris, Showa.
Shkula Shuet Sin.
Chowas in the Maumba Chowa, Showa to Chowas. Chowas and the Chijimba. And the Sachu the Sachu to Ting would do Chowar. Showas and the Suchi do Showas. Showa the Chowa, Chabadua.
That's it. Dene?
Chowa Chugulanji, Badu Longulanji, Chowas there. What the Chowa Chugulanji, what is it? This Catulin is a marbe. Chowa live Matayus, ya.
Chewit Sena Ngalo, Jor Dewa, Jepa Dan, Lo Chik Sampa Dewa. Milan du. Dene, ngay sampa ngatsu de lesson. Deta samla nye kor. De ngatsu Milan du.
Deta samla nye kula chaba.
Yeah.
Lunans.
Yeah.
What the Sukin but Santana, nye kula chaba de luba ina, pontuba ina. Nye badan, menyeba druba sula. Himadewa manju desa. Nyeba biya na menyeba tudon ta da si doja loya druba sula yimedo ngumares
Lesso.
manjute
Lesso.
jenje ngorani chebado chebachen to druba la tenye mebe madu jang hidwa madu bisharosa jenje ngorani chebado druba la na jenje nga ji karasugure tobuna ji chaage ne rawan meba inso da jengorani chabra kento trubala tenye mebe se gab meba insa
Kagare.
madu chan idwa madu bisharosa te madu chan senle yeme dwa de dogma dwa yungures
Lesso.
madu bisharo Tadaya Nebi Bachi Shibi Tada Mendo Nas Nebi Bachi Shiba in Suno Tel Chukurson Tada Mendo Na Dag Neban Denduje Diba Dag Neban Denduje Da Denduje Dan Neba Kedenda Madonna, Daganyeba, the Noje.
Shonju Long Rimbo.
Debatana never ne. Dani tende Shen Lai, Lotu in Tama de Conre Dua. Never Mavania to show out the Lotu into Swani Karazan, Hamazan, the Conshonju de Dua.
Lesso.
Dani tende Shen Lai is never me show the ne zangres at Teredua. Lotu Yarin Sumrum. Lotu Generum de Rongomares, the Abu Mares. Data Yarin, Nature, Data Yarin, Nature, Chi Dunga, Tenis, Data Tower Yarin, Nature, Chi Dunga, the Yungres. Teni Malan Loja Dua Dunun Tamang Kong de Dua Malan Loja Dua New Ne Sebajuba Kain down. Jenshi Yutan Denu Ne Sebajuba Kain Ba Sebata Nigalan Duatene Showman Selling to Nigayan Chi Dusu 네, 된다세스. 얘네 뭐지네 셔와드나 서통전에 서통하다 로즈 얘네 초안이도 어디 지대야 그래서 아들레로와 선에 조동이가 양 치 뒤에서 된다세스 치도 시바레스 냐바 뭐 토주데 냐바 뭐 토주 얘네 뒤에서 대제장 총비 초바 제전도 총비 초바 제전도 데말라바 동원로사 총바 잘라 젠다고 초바 나지 셔데도 어데 ane susu chala kaze yoba ina ya kamba tang kaze yoba ina shidi kangajan roje rota susu jibun roje desa ta dama laba tongba roos shindi du kamba ne mota kan rogen yoma rota jaji ro shesos wata badre
then eight sampa chikshina sumba gelde nyepa dene jipa the shunju long sa dene the chua dan lenja dene
okay,
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at the breakdown in categories for Jayan Sheba, so we have the first category being up to the Sharawa quote, second category being the Sharawa quote, the third category being the first series of questions, objection, reply, up to where the first quote of the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life is, and then number 4 would read all the way to the end of this section. So it just seems like all the information included in number 4 really seems to go all the way back to there. If we look at the quote from Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, that always, the quote always includes the section, and you can kind of look at the quote and see where the section goes to. So that's what I was just talking with Rinpoche about, and he said that he thinks that seems like a fine breakdown. So I'm going to reread the number 4 section. I'll reread number 3. It's short. There could be a slight difference in breakpoints, which we can look into in the future, but we'll just move on. So number 3, objection. When someone has contempt for me, etc., other people will not like me. So this is why I'm unhappy about it. Reply, this would have some truth if others' dislike were to harm you. However, since their dislike does nothing to you, give up your unhappiness about others' contempt. Engaging in the bodhisattva deed says, others' dislike for me does not devour me in this or other lives. Why am I adverse to it? Objection. Number 4. Indeed, I am not harmed by their dislike, but in dependence on it, I am hindered in acquiring things from them. So I will get angry at those who have contempt for me, scorn me, or say unpleasant words to me. Reply, even if you acquire things, you must leave them here, whereas the sin of your anger at them will follow you. Hence, of the two choices, dying quickly in destitution or living for a long time improperly, the former is better. Even if you acquire things and live for a long time, you must die, since you are not liberated from death. At the time of death, it is the same whether you have enjoyed pleasure from the previous 100 years or enjoyed it for merely 1 year. For both alternatives are nothing more than mere objects of memory, and at that time it makes no difference at all for your happiness or suffering. It is analogous to how in a dream the experience of pleasure for 100 years and the experience of a mere moment's pleasure have no difference at all with respect to your happiness or unhappiness at the time of waking. And again, Rinpoche pointed out, is a fire, dream, fire, fire, is dream, human, human. And it's making the point upon waking, it does no bearing on your happiness or unhappiness. That reality of the dream state versus your real reality. When you contemplate in this way and turn away from attachment to gain an honor, you will not become unhappy with unpleasant words and contempt. You have no interest in being special in the eyes of others, so you do not lose your contentment, thus engaging in the bodhisattva deed states. So all of this information that Lama Tsongkhapa has presented is from Shanti Dev is engaging in the bodhisattva deeds. So here we'll present the scriptural verification. While I do not like contempt and so forth. Because they interfere with my prosperity, I leave my acquisitions here, but firmly keep my sins. So here we leave our properties, but what we do carry with us are our non-virtuous activities, as it says here, that our sin and anger are what follow with us. The things we acquire, we leave behind. Better that I die today than live a long and proper life. Those like me might live a long time, but then there is only the suffering of death. So it says the two choices, dying quickly in destitution or living for a long time improperly, the former is better. So here we find the supporting point in Shantideva's text. Someone might wake from a dream after experiencing happiness for 100 years. Another might wake from a dream after experiencing happiness for a mere moment. For both persons, once they awaken, happiness does not return. It is like this at the time of death, whether your life was long or short. After acquiring many things, I may enjoy pleasure for a long time, but just like one robbed by a thief, I will leave naked and empty-handed. So the only things that we bring with us are our virtues and our non-virtues. So all of these things that we care so much for, we leave without choice. Khensur Rinpoche. It's Sampa. There was a lot. I had to reconstruct it. Okay. Khensur. Nipa.
다 니바로. 니바 데레도. 다 조알라
Rinpoche,
마가시.
Shintu Goa.
아.
Ngamo Goa.
뭐.
Okay.
니바 다 조알라 마가시. 구발라 가와 가바스. 다 소소 마가사 다데 네 쇼부차스는 리치 차바이나 될 마가 가고레스 다이네 콤 리치 차바이네 앞으로다 마가지 유마레스 단조알라 마가시스 구발라 가와 가바스 네 다코 쇼부차스나 안 와들 마가 가고레스 Gabane,
I see.
Sentient dependent drubisher, sentient dependent drubisher, sentient pemba the doa drubisher do, Shanshu to sentient, sentient Kuranki, doanyeba, sentient Kuranki, doanyeba, sentient Kuranki, doanyeba, Nebala Chuadan. sentient tanji changjawa duesene tadala nye guru meba zang shungwa la yimedewa shindu gelo nyane yen jendashi njoba lang chadu bonde samba tabane yi gawa chego de sa da nyeba dan jowa la magashin guba la God Gawuris. Jusen Garasana Sentient Drubi the sentient Tangela Pemba than the Drubi and the Shanshu to the sentient Tangic Sanji Kumutuba Shawonabe Shanshu to the sentient Jene Sentient Kuranki Doanyebala Troadan Sentient Kuranki Shanshu to the sentient ne sentient Kuranki Doanyebala Troade Amaris Troadan sentient Tangi Tanjawa Dosava Tadala Nyago Mebatan Shuan La Yemedewane Gewares, Sanlung Gewares, Gewa. Sentient Tangi Sentient Tangi Sanju Kumutu Shawo Nyaba Sentient ne Pembatan the issue to Sanju to Sentient ne Kuranki Doanyebala Troat and Gewares Sentient Tangi Tanjawa Dosene Tadala Nyago Mebatan Shuan La Yemedewa the Gewares and Gewa. Shendu Gelo Nyan ne Da Generation Jobalan, Da Generation Jen Generation Jobalan, Jen Ganesh Shubachabaina, Rich Chabaina, Joalan, Chadu Bonde, Sambataba ne ye magawa chegu kures chado ponde ye magawa de ye gawa chegu kures ye gawa ye ano ko je rich chaba ina gawa chegu kures chegu de tata mainas tene gawa cheba maina shanju sentan sentient la pende droba na mezanto yuses da maina wade shanju ju de sentient so wada sentient la pende drosa de mezan rama tanda meba chana res mezanto yu shede sentient tanji dende shunju yimare kon sentient tanji dende shanju tu sentient tanji la pemba da dwande ne shanju ju de sentient ne sentient rangi tenye na sentient koro ge nyeba ne toba ina tel maga ji ju mares tagu jede ode long la ju ma jede tro ri ge mares tro je jeden son ju chang jawa jeden son ju chang jawa sentient nanen de jena nyango ngango tang tone tese tela dongwa she soja kanji chö sowa chö ni jene jimba jinja de nyanji sowa nyanjo na gamen jowa sa chowa jede roa mende na tela shanchu de kanji jenjur chu tela shanchu jen shobu chabala long ke tela shanchu sen te kala yo ne ko jen shobu chabala ko long de ne shanchu sen kala yo mares kede tele nyedang yenda china nyajwa kundu teshu lamena shima shinron teji shas wade kasure jala de nyebate nanda marin garje gorse jibare sitana shezo Dragubala gawa na la na nyambi samba ngeba na jang tazanji dala menebe sa Dragubala gawa na la na nyambi sanlu kuba zanji dal ne gumares dala menebe dughen zanto susu dughen wasan susu dughen sengi dughen zangre madu nijen ne yo mares the say la no ranger point du que de dal ne bayina ne ranger point de gres rampon jempon
Bless her.
du nyemi sane nabatanche de gabasha what nyemi san dan nabatanche de what gagures que de dashi magana tala chuga jishiyos dadra magaba ina chunlong gabu karjeni yodes jishiyo
Chishinanga the NGK.
Kaleju ya
Khensur Yogudu Chishina.
yeah
Okay, so just a lot of reading. B, stopping both dislike for harm doers, attainments, and delight in their troubles. So here, this is a reversal. Sorry, a reversal of one's mind state. So you change the dislike for harm doers' attainments to a liking. And so if someone who we consider an enemy, for instance, becomes rich, we dislike this. We need to change that to an attitude which likes them having these attainments. And stop, we have a delight in their troubles. We need to stop this delight. And delight in their attainments. So it's a reversal of this attitude of where we would delight normally in our harm-doers' downfalls. Here we're delighting in their attainments and stopping or reversing the delight in their downfalls. So it says, contemplate as follows. After I have generated the spirit of enlightenment for the sake of accomplishing all living beings' benefit and happiness. So I've decided and made it an aspiration to become a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings. And I have decided to do this so that they all may attain ultimately the estate of Buddhahood, freedom from all suffering. It says, after I have generated the spirit of enlightenment for the sake of accomplishing all living beings' benefit and happiness, I get angry at harm-doers when they attain happiness on their own. So this seems mutually exclusive with the idea that you have, that you're wishing that they have happiness, that all sentient beings achieve Buddhahood, but when one of them has an attainment of some sort, we get angry. And it says that that's mutually exclusive with this spirit of enlightenment that we contemplate. After I have said that I want all the beings to become Buddhas, I get angry at harm-doers when they obtain happiness on their own. After I have said that I want all beings to become Buddhas, I get unhappy when harm-doers get even minimal prosperity or honor, so when they become wealthy in some way. Rinpoche kept mentioning wealth. When someone gets wealth, we become jealous. This is extremely contradictory. You must eliminate your jealousy regarding any sort of attainment by other persons and delight in it from the depths of your heart. So getting rid of this jealousy which happens or occurs when we see someone we dislike have attainments or become rich. We need to transform that into actual delight in this when they do. Because we wish ultimately for all beings to have the complete state of Buddhahood, unsurpassable, true, complete enlightenment, then it's contradictory to say that when one of them has a sort of happiness that we are mad. So it contradicts our sentiment. You must eliminate your jealousy regarding any sort of attainment by other persons and delight in it from the depths of your heart. Otherwise, your spirit of enlightenment and the achievement of the welfare and happiness of beings are nothing but words. So Rinpoche said that there's no meaning behind the words that you say if you have this contradiction. If you're saying that you want to become a Buddha for the sake of all beings, and then you become angry when one such being has any sort of attainment, it says you must eliminate your jealousy regarding any sort of attainment by other persons and delight in it from the depths of your heart. So this transformation of dislike for attainment that others have and transforming it into delight. And then it says engaging in the Bodhisattva's deeds says. So now we have a quote from Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. Since you want all beings to be happy... Hold on, just one moment. I want to make sure in my notes I don't have anything that I have to mention. No meaning. Okay. Since you want all beings to be happy, you have generated the spirit of enlightenment. Then when beings find happiness themselves, why do you get angry with them? If you wish to attain for living beings' welfare Buddhahood, which is worshipped in the three worlds, why are you tormented when you see their most paltry gain or honor? So when you see a being have some sort of attainment or even the smallest amount of wealth, why do you become angry? Why do you become tormented? When a relative finds sustenance for those whom you should nurture, objects of your care and generosity, instead of being pleased, are you angry again? If you do not wish even that for beings, how can you wish them enlightenment? Where is the spirit of enlightenment in someone who gets angry at others' attainments? Whether your enemy gets something from someone or it remains in the benefactor's house, it is never yours. So why be angry, whether it is given or not? Then lung kanga losong, the shunju lung. Then a sheso dragupa lomason.
Lakaba.
The tuka dragupa la.
Ala dragupa.
Yeah, dragupa.
Yeah. Dragubas.
Dragupa la gawa.
Dragupa la gawa na la na.
Tuche.
Chambi samba ngeba na jang. Tazanji drala mene be ne dunga 동해와 장도 세라사 나 소소 마가세 다지에 봐이나 다도 좀 잡아이나 네 가와나 다도 라는 향배 상방에 봐나 장 상로 봐나 장 대장지 달 내고 말했어
Lessa.
달라면에
Tuche.
동해장도 수수 동해장레스 동해장도 세라
Lessa.
그들은나 라제 풍왕 주스 그들은 바이나 랄 녀거데 옌라 녀거데 라제니가 풍왕 주 녀미산네 나바타제도 가바샤도 나바타제도 가우레스
Tuche.
그들 다시 막아나 그들 다시 막아나 콘데 뭐 쉬어주
Shenju. Tuche.
그들 다시 막아나 들라 저가 지시스 다시 막아나 저 들라 가 저가 지시요 말이스 최지 예면장제네 최지 네 다도 군나냐베 예면장제네 달 내고 말이스 네비 주면조로스 네비 주면조로 최진대베 동에데 주나 저가 지시스 그들 달 내바이나야 네 저 가야 가리요 말이스 지시 그때 산에서 가서 칭bar 알레 생 가보 what 그 뱀부 종소냐베 생 칭보다 용으로서나 주시나 텔레폰 젠젠지 텔레폰 소소 본 그래서 젠젠지시도 말이스 녀모냐베 따바이 초안드네 메제제 대중 생애 bomba야 예수메 다증에스 예수가 다증에
Shiso.
다증에 예수스
Lessa.
what about the courage 말이야
Okay. Then reading on, page 171. Even your mere malicious thoughts that delight in your enemy's troubles or that wish for their destruction do not harm your enemy. They lead only to your own suffering. So all of these malicious thoughts and harmful intent that you have do not in any way harm your enemy. They harm you. So they have the unintended consequence. They have the exact opposite unintended consequence of harming you. Yet if such malice were to harm them, you should stop it completely, reflecting on the drawback that this would bring ruin to yourself and others, and both. Rinpoche said, yourself, bring ruin to others, and bring ruin to yourself and others. Engaging in the Bodhisattva deed states, Shantideva's text again, when my enemies are unhappy, what am I pleased about? My wishes alone will cause them no harm. Even if I should affect their suffering with my wish, what could I be pleased about? If I said I will be satisfied, what could be more ruinous? Once I am caught by the terrible hook, cast by the fishermen, the afflictions, I will surely be cooked by the hell guardians in a kettle for the beings of hell. So there was no commentary. Nene?
다들 너 세제 영화세 지레도 영화 대바산 영화 누구를 로더보다
So by accumulating these non-virtues, we achieve a hell realm rebirth, is the point of this third stanza here.
다지난 ten시도다 대바 먹어 주들 전에 종종 요하르스
Lessa.
거와 주들 전에 종종 요하르스 대바 먹어 쳐도 영화를 저거래 링게다 총어도 를 저거래스 거와 쳐도 하 링게 하마이 네 총어 물 저거래스 what 지난 ten시도도
So non-virtuous activities, when we look at, for instance, the 10 non-virtuous activities, have degrees, as well as the 10 virtuous activities have degrees. So when we look at non-virtue, for instance, non-virtue, if we were to say, have small, medium, and great degrees, they have concordant results. So non-virtue is of the greatest degree gives rise to hell realm rebirth. A medium degree, hungry ghost realm rebirth, and a small degree give rise to an animal realm rebirth. The same concordance is true when we look at the arisal of the higher realms of cyclic existence in relation to degrees. The greatest degree of virtue, so if we're looking at, again, as a note, the 10 non-virtuous activities, and then now we're speaking of the ethics which abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities. So if we have a great degree of virtue, this gives rise to a God's realm. A medium degree of virtue gives rise to demigod, and a small degree of virtue gives rise to a human realm. So we see how these virtue and non-virtue give rise to their concordant results. Diso.
And Diba Mago del Chebunti, Chungson Ayus. Son Yuna, the Son de Rebuson Ayus, Jesuna.
The Nyawa, the
Nyawata Ida to lose Yoma, to do the mean Tongoro.
Less so.
You know, the Ida to do Yoma is Lovina.
To
Mess Lovina.
less so.
And the hotel Jawatan.
To check.
And then Diba Chenin Johnson to us. And Chibi in Jebo, Drink in Jebo.
So if one were to say there is no hell realm, there is no hungry ghost realm, and we can see the animal realm, so one wouldn't say there's no animals, but if we can't see the hell or hungry ghost, so if one were to say there is no hell or hungry ghost realm, then we would say, well, are there degrees of non-virtue? Is there a small degree of non-virtue, a medium degree of non-virtue, a great degree of non-virtue? And what do those varying degrees give rise to? What varieties do those give rise to? So this is how we would analyze it. There are not? Well, then what? Well, do you agree there are degrees of virtue or non-virtue? What do those degrees give rise to then?
The new Sumi that's new Suma than the user of Nua, Chanya Janya to the policy who's on the Gobashi to user. That's a guess. Sheso Data Randa Rangi, Nyeshiji, Randa Rangi, Nyeshi, Binja the Pamata, what the Tule Geshe can do long longer Lavaina. Geshe Shebatan, Mendebi Shudrubatan, Ragi Dai, Pansun Subal, Tajito, Mendebi, Naba Tena, Tele Yimedo Chelasa. Tata Ranta Ragi Nyeshi, Debi Geshe Batans. Pama Binja to Sukin Debi Geshe Batan, Mendebi Shudruba, Rangi, Dai Pansun Soba La Tachido, Mendebi Nabatena, Tele Medoa, what the Salomabamba in the Susema Jibachangures, Yimedoa Chelas, Tepena, Yimedoa Pesuna, and the long would Sedan. Shedan Chejin, Tachido, Magawa Luna, Yimedoa Dolas, Yimedoa Donugres, Dola. The Luna, Yimedoa Luzuna, Shedan Majis, Konduchegamares. Hatambe, Rebanaji, Tadala, Tachido Magayu Naba, Dolas. Godomane, Kondru Gabad, Godomane, Rebina Taibugone, and the Kondru Gabadas, Gabashate, Kondru Yemi Shindu, Kondru Lamba, you know what the Yemi Shindu Chivares, Yemi Shindu Chishiro, Yemishin to Chishiro Gobi Danga Kondru Gobi Danga Jang Hatembi Jesse na Jiriba Ragi Nyomotan Gelenshine Kanado Lode Dry Chu Control Jumba Shebi Tudada Imbes or the drag chudo the control or the control Junage Mebazuage Tashi Ures Jumba Shebi Tudada Imbe Daman Zobatan what to say about that Imbe Susutu Sheraji Sherog Taji Chen what to Sherog Taji Ures Sheraji Lebertine Rebi Gutomanes Sheraji Rebi Gut Rebi no Taib Gune Kana Country Nazenjis Ritoma Keshin Zoba Gutoman Jelasa or the country Chenmo Santana and the country Mamagana Gretene Zoba de Apeungres Zoba Zoba de Vesona Zobenzation Ju Nabala Pantan Lodo Lamesheba Keba Jushin T Wodone Lamija de Debaseba Juros Zoba de Zobi Pendele
Long Cabernet.
Omanjuba Zobenzation Ju Nabaz Zobin Rebel Zobin Yungures Zobenzation Ju Nabala Pantans Chebatabas Gabu Yungures Zobenzation Ju Nabala Pantan Lodon Lameshebala Keba Jushins Shabata Nabi Trutala Soba, what the Tamal Kebacha Ures,
That's so.
Keban Jushin, Lodon Lemesheva Keban Jushin. Seven is Jew Namal Panda Lodon Lemesh Keban Jushin, they would Lamijetan, Schedule, Halichigre, Melchigre,
That's so.
Deba Seban Joros,
That's so.
what in so and what to say that.
That's so. So you will be unhappy if you view as absolutely undesirable the obstacles to what you and your friends want, movement in directions you do not want, and the prosperity of your enemies. If this unhappiness increases, you become hostile. If you stop your absolute dislike of these three things, you prevent unhappiness. Once you do this, you will not feel hostile. Thus, dispel your absolute dislike of these things by using the reasonings previously taught. Take many approaches to stop your anger because it is a very great fault. So one needs to look at the downfalls of anger and see if there are benefits, and one will find that there are just faults. So the many downfalls of anger are to be looked at, and then many approaches to stop it are then practiced. And then these instructions, the lines of reasoning of the conquerors and their children presented above, provide the techniques for defeating your greatest enemy, anger. They involve arguing with your own afflictions and looking within yourself. When you analyze well with discerning wisdom and stop anger with many lines of reasoning, you prevent many types of anger and you become patient in many ways. So, for instance, in the Chandrakirti's Entrance to the Middle Way, we find a quote that says, "Patience makes you beautiful and dear to holy beings. Through patience you are skilled in knowing right from wrong. In afterlives you will be born as a human or divine, and negativity will have no hold on you, or non-virtues will have no hold on you." So here it's saying that this patience will be part of what allows you to be born into the higher realms of the humans and gods and so forth. And we find that quote in Chandrakirti's text, and the reason that that is relevant is it says here, when you analyze well with discerning wisdom and stop anger with many lines of reasoning, you prevent many different types of anger and you become patient in many ways. So here is one such scriptural analysis of reasoning presented. Stop anger with many lines of reasoning. And here is one such stanza of reasoning in Chandrakirti's text. I believe that's everything. These instructions, the lines of reasoning of the conquerors and their children presented above, provide the techniques of defeating your greatest enemy, anger. I think that's everything. I'm going to be redundant at this point. So one needs to think a lot. That's what I've written down. Think a lot about these things in order to have a stable relationship with them. thwarting anger, and practicing patience. And I don't know if Rinpoche read on. Rinpoche, chu de lo song de.
Ajin me she what the zoba tu den na la jin you mo do ka tu kun ju she dan la de la na ka din che zu son la sai go cha yin ta da she na zo ju ko cha la na ba ju ju kon ba zes zoba tu den na la jin ji shu ta nga zu se dang ngwe da jin sha tu zo ne me gebel ta ni he je yo ma re po ko chu chong ta ni he je yo ma re zoba tu den na ane zoba de yoba ina zoba de toden na ge jeng chu chu bar tene lama chebata pamba chebata wote mo on yo kan tu zoba yoba ina jeng chu chu bar wote res zoba toden na la jeng chu zoba de magge magge jeng chare ane pu chu chu ge jeng chare sul zoba yoba ina chama ge wote jeng chare no res.
We find in Lama Tsongkhapa's abbreviated lines of experience, the Lamrim Duden, where it says, patience is the best adornment to wear for those with power, and the perfect aesthetic practice for those tormented by delusions. It is the high-soaring eagle as the enemy of the snake of anger, and the thickest armor against the weapons of abusive language. Knowing this, the wise have accustomed themselves in various ways and forms to the armor of supreme patience. I, the yogi, have practiced just that. If you would also seek liberation, please cultivate yourself in this same way. So here, when we look at jewelry, normal adornments, normal ornaments that one could wear, they don't make everyone who puts them on more beautiful. If we see jewelry put on a baby, a small child, it doesn't look right. Or if we put it on a very old person, lots of jewels, it does not beautify or serve as a jewel to beautify them. But if we look at the ornament of patience, we look at the act of patience, the practice of patience, whether one is a child or older or an old person, no matter how old he or she is, this beautifies them. So that's why it says that this is the best ornament to wear for those who are practitioners, those who wish to engage in practice, but also if we look just in general, it is a true jewel. It is a true beautifying jewel when compared to normal jewels. Dene? Not so dutsu the karma ju you're
Tand the gatul tezima dutsu mara. Susu to be shera ji ne rebi go to man ka na konju na senje re to ma keshin ne zoba de peung gores. Yang ta be long ta rebi reba drama mebe nyebi reba drama mebe nyebi go tin chobale chebe nywa yinbe bacha shindu tenba yinos wo tin de sanne ab tamba yina ne bacha tenba jan de bacha chashima lo de chashima penji lo de yabu yung wo bacha tembo
lessa
chindu tenba yino
lessa
susu tu bi shera ji jegun do na ne susu tu bi shera ji jegun do na ne dada la so bi shansen ji sheba la ju ba tang jin do yin be ran da yin ji da yu ten la hen ba len bi ge la na me ba sheba shela do jin do bon sha os susu tu bi shera ji wo de ne ga so re 다 제공 말 제공 뭐 하상 가도 말 하상 공 집이 전 집에 제고 말했어 어디 하상라서도 가야 되다 어디
So since this is an experience engendered by penetrating understanding that uses flawless reasoning to get at the meaning of correct scriptures, it leaves an extremely stable latent propensity. So imprints, it leaves very stable imprints within our continuum. And then it says, those who reject meditative analysis with discerning wisdom are those who reject the whole of the great undertaking of bodhisattva deeds such as these. Understand that such rejection is the worst hindrance to using a life of leisure for the benefit of yourself and others. Get rid of it as you would a poison. So this is negating the Hashan view of where Hashan stated that meditative analysis is something not to do, is something that you don't do. So analysis, conceptual analysis, is to be spurned or not engaged in. So here this negates it, saying that one needs meditative analysis with discerning wisdom in order to do the whole undertaking of the bodhisattva deeds. There needs to be this. When we look at the Rinpoche mentioned the two kinds of meditation, analytical meditation and fixed meditation or single-pointed meditation. Here this is speaking of an analytical meditation which was rejected by Master Hashan. So it says reject, some reject. Those who reject, that's referring to that one person it could be referring to is the Master Hashan's view. Dikso.
하장가 따와 오는 존에 배워서 라크고 말했어. 되는 자가를 계진시 와서도 까말라실라 되는 쇼거스. 까말라실라 되는 쇼네 하장도 까말라실라 주네. 되는 하장 봉송거스.
So at Sanyik Monastery, there was this Master Hashan. There was a separate part of Sanyik where Hashan's followers were, and the view was spreading throughout Sanyik. So Chandrarashita was involved, and then eventually Kamalashila came in order to debate Hashan and negate the views that he held. So we can find the texts of Master Chandrarashita and Master Kamalashila in the text here, where we have the Kangjur and Tanjur. We would find their texts in the Tanjur, the authentic Indian commentaries. So we have all of these Nalanda scholars' texts that have been translated into Tibetan now.
Oh, yeah.
So concluding mandala, thank you very much everyone for coming. That concludes the class, and we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it. Class is dependent, like everything else. Without students, we don't have class. So we need students in order to have this holy message continue to happen. Concluding mandala offering dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the three times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara, Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Rinpoche, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Guti Shapi Denana. So Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Triana.
Question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rinpoche was
Kontriwa Yure.
Okay.
If I understand it correctly, Rinpoche was teaching us that praising, we should not praise ourselves or others because it decreases their merit. Rejoicing is okay, however. I just wanted to understand the differences between the word praise and rejoice.
Rinpoche,
The differences and the similarities between the word praise and rejoice, because we're taught to rejoice when we, for example, save even a little gnat bug that's in the sink drowning, and we're taught to rejoice that we did that. But we also feel very happy. I also feel very happy, and I feel proud of myself that I saved that being maybe from suffering somehow, even a
Right.
reptile that could suffer more, like a fish that I put back in the ocean from a horrible death of suffocation. So I rejoice in that. So what is the differences between pride, praise, and rejoicing?
And just as a note, Rinpoche didn't, in case I just translated it wrong, Rinpoche didn't say not to praise others. Praising oneself and belittling others is the non-virtue. But not, Rinpoche, the praise was our relation to praise, being praised and seeing praise as in our relationship to it. So I'll ask Rinpoche though, Rinpoche, dopa, the dendel dopa dang jesu yeranwa chapagare. Gangisera de kon nisegadu, the sansan de bu, the chu nala yure, then kon the bu, the shigare, the sunsan kon ropa chegadu. Then kon sansan jesu yeranwa. Yene, the ngay sampa kon sampa chikshina nanjel yongare. The jesu yerana, nanjel chikshina. Then jesu yeranwa dan dopa chapagare. Gangisena, the dopa mambo, the junior, the sonchina tearing.
도바.
Dendel dopa, dupa. Dendel dopa, dopa.
아네.
Dupa dan jesu yeranwa chapagare.
도바 당 제수이랑서나. 도바도 제수이랑서나 가가인서 말으로.
So they're completely different very different.
제수이랑서 거와라 가버지.
So rejoicing is finding joy or liking virtue. Finding joy in or liking virtue. Gewa gawa, liking virtue.
도바스 나오때 야버서 드시더라.
So in praise is saying, oh, that is very good. So saying, oh, that this or that is very good. So that is what praise is referring to. So rejoicing is delighting in virtue, being happy with in virtue, being joyful about virtue. Whereas praise is saying that's very good. Or does that answer your question? I mentioned to Rinpoche about the rejoicing, and I even took it a step further just to let you know. I said that sometimes when you're rejoicing in, is there a trouble with maybe pride stepping in? And he didn't even address that. He said rejoicing is having joy in good virtue you've done, which is saving a life, is generosity of giving fearlessness. And yeah, so those are the differences. Decent. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I hope